Yeah, I gotta ask the question, and there's rumors out there going. Is there a trade coming for the Pistons? I love listening to podcasts and just trying to pick the brain kind of by listening to them talk stuff out because there's a big difference between beat writers writing and beat writers talking in front of a mic. And there's a couple of beat writers for the Pistons that are saying, I really think there's going to be a trade or two before the regular season starts. That's kind of what they're hearing. And then you see an article like this that trade interest in Pistons Bojan Bogdanovic remains high. That teams are still interested in trading for Detroit Pistons small forward Bojan Bogdanovic, according to NBA insider Mark Stein. So here's what we know. In October, Bogey signed a 2-year, $40 million extension with the Pistons. There's actually, that keeps him this year and next year, plus the one that he already had last year. Now, external interest remains high. Bogey isn't getting younger. The Detroit Pistons have continued to say that they are not interested in trading him, that they want to keep him. I think this is interesting. Also, the reported asking price for Bogey is a first-round pick and multiple seconds. That's interesting. I'm wondering if they still want multiple seconds after they came away with a net second-round pick after all, like the Joe Harris, they get 2 for him. They give 1 away for Monty Morris. Like, what does that look like? But here's the question I have to ask. Is there a trade coming outside of Bogey? Maybe it's Bogey. I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but I think there could be a different one there. Because when I look at the depth chart, there are things that don't make a ton of sense, and they don't need to make a ton of sense. Like, it's okay if you have 13 players on your roster that you feel all deserve playing time. That's a good problem to have. And I feel like the Pistons have 13 players that all deserve playing time, and you could make an argument for 14, and I'll tell you who the 14th is that I'm going to make the argument for. I might make the argument for, but let's look at the breakdown of their roster. At the point guard position, you can say Cade is there, you can say Monty Morris is there, and Killian Hayes is there. So that's 3 right there. Jaden Ivey at the shooting guard, along with Alec Burks, who we re-signed, and Marcus Sasser. So, yes, I put Cade at point guard. I put Sasser at shooting guard because they've talked about how Sasser will be an off guard role. I'm excited to see in Summer League how much they play him with the ball in his hands. Is he going to facilitate the offense, or is he going to play that off guard role? That might give us some inclination in how they want to use him going forward. Remember the Bruce Brown Summer League where he played point guard for us the entire time, and then he ended up playing some point guard during the regular season, didn't he? All right, at small forward, you have Bogey. You have now Joe Harris. Very similar players, but Bogey still has, I think, even though he's older, probably has more in the tank. We'll see how healthy Joe Harris's ankles are. If they're healthy, look out, because that dude was a baller. And then, of course, you have Asar Thompson. And yes, I'm putting him at the 3. We've talked about that. At the power forward, you could say Isaiah Stewart, Isaiah Livers. Now, you could move Bogey into the power forward conversation. You could move Bagley into the power forward conversation. But for now, I'm going to leave them in different spots. And then at center, you have Duren, Bagley, and Wiseman. There's not enough minutes to go around. And when you look at the depth chart, you have 2 rookies in Sasser and Thompson that are your third player at each position, respectively, at shooting guard and at small forward. Or even if you move Sasser over to point guard, he's still the third man. Even if you move Asar into the shooting guard, he's still the third guy. So it would make sense to me that you could move a guy like Bogey off the roster. Joe Harris can play the 3. Asar Thompson can play the 3. Isaiah Livers can play the 3. Heck, Cade can play the 3. All these guys can play the 3. The problem is who plays the 4. So the log jams are at different spots than I think we would think. Yep, there's a log jam at 3, but getting rid of Bogey creates a lack of players at the 4, because Livers is going to play a little 3, maybe a little 4. Like, you're one injury away from having to get something weird there. And then you have a logjam at center with Duren, Bagley, Wiseman. Who plays? Are we done with the 2 big man rotation? If we're not done with the 2 big man rotation, then sure, let Bojan walk. And by walk, I mean trade. But he was our best player last year. Now, the Pistons got a shooter in Joe Harris. Like, they got a shooter. They got a shooter in Monte Morris. So the shooting isn't as much of a drastic need. Before it was like, you can't get rid of Bogey because without Bogey, there's no shooters. It's very interesting to see. It's very interesting to see. So I guess I just wanted to put together a quick thing. Like, do you think there's a trade coming for the Detroit Pistons? And what would that look like? Yeah, that's all I got. I'm not going to try and lengthen this video out. Give me your thoughts. Where are you at? Are you excited for Summer League? I'm going to be doing some stuff on that as well. Kind of excited to see what's going to happen for Summer League. And we'll see you later and on the next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Do it. Comment. Why not? Good to hear from you.